I got a call recently from someone that literally woke up in a ditch, didn't know what happened. And he called me wanting to know, what could I do? Was there anything I could do? And the first thing I did, I told him, was that I need to look at the bike, because that might have some clue. I mean, he was a good cyclist. He wasn't drunk. He wasn't on drugs. He was just riding his bike, ended up in a ditch unconscious. So what we did was looked at the bike. He hadn't noticed anything strange about it, but I saw that his pedal, the left pedal, was severely damaged. It was clear from looking at the pedal that there was been a significant impact from the left. Also, we looked at his injuries, and they were consistent with being struck by a blunt object, probably the side mirror of a truck, based on his injuries. So from there, we looked at the police report, and the police report actually wasn't favorable because it just said that cyclist fell off his bike, doesn't know what happened. So we went back to the police. We used the evidence that we did have, the pedal, the nature of the injuries, and it was turned over to an accident reconstructionist who eventually made the determination that it was most likely a hit and run by a truck that caused the injuries. So that was a case where it was the physical evidence that, to the bike itself, the nature of the injuries, all which was very informative. Now, another thing that was important about that case was he also had his uninsured motorist coverage, because what had happened, he'd been hit by a phantom vehicle, hit and run vehicle. We weren't able to find the truck or determine who the actual defendant was, but because he had uninsured motorist coverage on his automobile, that stood in the shoes of the driver of that phantom vehicle, and he was able to recover from his own insurance for the damages caused by the hit and run driver. Now, that was a benefit that he had paid for. The collision wasn't his fault, so it didn't affect his premium or the cost of his future insurance. Why is that important? Well, first, it shows that you need to have uninsured motorist coverage if you're a cyclist. Secondly, you want to make sure that you preserve the bike, the equipment on the bike, your clothing. In fact, one thing I didn't mention was that he had all this trauma to the left side of his body, but he didn't have any road rash. His clothing wasn't torn, which reinforced likely there was a blunt trauma, not impact with the roadway where he would have slid. There would have been abrasions and there would have been damage to the clothing. His clothing was virtually pristine. So it shows the importance of understanding the injury, understanding basic bike dynamics, preserving evidence, and having the appropriate coverage and taking the appropriate action. If you're watching this video, you have questions, I'm passionate about helping cyclists, I can give you the answers. Call me at 404-892-0011.